Hello, once more. Should I prepare a pastoral letter based on Lamentations? There's a time for etc. Should I consider the challenges of monetary donations as a way of demonstrating God's grace, God's overwhelming grace to us? Maybe consider what has been given or lost over the last year, changes in circumstances, sense of well-being, among others. Perhaps the challenge of healing, not requested but given, asked for but much delayed. Where to start? All those thoughts and questions are prompted by this week's lectionary readings. Is there a possibility of joining the dots and seeing why those who prepared the lectionary decided on those readings? I'm not seeing it, but I'm pleased to write about Lamentations. Before you go, before you turn off, before you decide not to read any further, there is some really good news in here. Strength and purpose and perseverance, among others. Isn't that something we all need to have, perhaps just a little bit more of at the moment? The passage for this Sunday is about the only good part of Lamentations. Through the Lord's mercies, we are not consumed because his compassions fail not. Perhaps you're now thinking of a hymn. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Definitely a hymn. Except, of course, Scripture came first. The book of Lamentations tells the story, in part, of a people who had been devastated by what had happened and was happening to them. Theological issues, like not being able to worship as they had used to. Personal tragedies, as well as political and social disasters. Does that in any way sound familiar? Their comfort, sense of order, well-being, security, even the royal family, all gone. It is not an easy or comfortable read, but there is something to be said for hearing, listening, living in someone's suffering or pain. I am not recommending it to be miserable or morbid, but perhaps if we listen to each other a little more closely, we may be able to provide more appropriate support in some way, even if that is only a listening ear. The difficulty with the hymn from Lamentations, when taken out of context, is rather like only remembering the resurrection of Jesus. That is really important, key in many ways, but without the rest of his story, it could be very misleading. Jesus overcame all the suffering and had the scars to show it. Just ask Thomas. So, I am actually addressing God's overwhelming grace, the changes we have experienced, as well as the much delayed healing. None in any real detail, but that will be your task, opportunity, challenge, possibly responsibility over the week. Who might you need to speak to help yourself, or to listen to help them, as many of the restrictions continue? May God bless you with fortitude, peace, and compassion.